You're about to see some astounding examples of just how far financial lenders will go to trap us all. Whether you're just 16 years of age or already $60,000 in debt, you're still a target to be bombarded with outrageous offers. David Richardson with the latest wave of credit card traps.
I'd say once every 3 to 4 weeks, roughly. I've had letters. You get enticed.
By pre-approving credit to people without actually checking their circumstances, then that can lead to reckless lending.
Selling debt to the masses, our financial institutions have made it an art form, insatiably lining their own pockets by picking ours.
It was initially a $7,000 limit, and they sent me this lovely letter saying that I can up my limit to 12,500, which in turn I did. And right about now, it's way over the limit. It's over the limit.
Despite having $63,000 in credit card debt, Irene Perfetto regularly receives unsolicited offers to increase her limits. And like many of us, she finds them hard to resist.
They'll just give it to you.
In Irene's case, even lenders she has nothing to do with are clamouring for her business.
This is the latest offer I've had, which is from Citibank, and they offered me up to $25,000. It is very tempting, but I'm not going to take the offer.
Although Australians owe a record $44 billion on credit cards, millions of letters like these continue to pour into our mailboxes. Lenders use psychological manipulation to lure us further into the red, often appealing to our egos. They dangle a poison carrot before our eyes.
When they use a term like "you deserve the benefits of gold," for example, what that does is it feeds into an ego that says, oh, they think that I deserve this thing.
Marketing expert Dr. Paul Harrison has just concluded a year-long study into the tactics our lenders use to drive us deeper into debt.
We form this trust relationship with the bank, and what these letters do is they exploit that relationship by saying, you can trust us, you know, we've made this assessment, you can have this limit increase. It doesn't even look like a credit card application. It's literally, we've offered you this money, sign this form, tick this box and send it back.
Unfortunately, what we're uncovering in this report is that banks and lenders do engage in reckless lending. They're not always responsible in the way that they market their credit.
The Consumer Action Law Centre's Nicole Rich commissioned the research after an influx of complaints.
People obviously have some responsibility to assess their circumstances, but the problem with these letters is they're deliberately designed by the banks and lenders to make it less likely that you'll think through your decision.
In the case of these pre-approved offers, they will certainly do a thorough check using various sophisticated computer modelling techniques, and they'll be able to analyse the person's capacity to repay, and an offer will only be made on that basis.
Chief Executive of the Australian Bankers Association, David Bell, naturally dismisses suggestions our financial institutions are guilty of reckless lending.
When banks lend money, they do so in the expectation it will be paid back. And the way they do that is to make sure that people have the right income and the right credit history.
But try telling that to teenager Mariah Henson. Even she couldn't believe it when given the green light for a loan.
I had around about $20 in my bank account at the time when I walked into Commonwealth Bank. I was earning $300 a week. I was only doing factory work, and I just walked in and walked out with a personal loan.
Employed in her first full-time job for a little more than a month, the 16-year-old was granted $5,000. Now unemployed, it's come back to haunt her.
I can't really go out and do things because I don't have the money to go out. I have to keep paying back this.
She's now forced to clean her sister's home for $50 a week. At that rate, it'll take years to pay off her debt.
The bank wouldn't have had a clue what I was going to do with the $5,000, and they still gave it to me, being that irresponsible.
And as for those offers of easy credit, Dr. Paul Harrison warns,
don't allow the banks, in a sense, to manipulate your psychology.
Good advice.